Have you ever wondered what an AI could do if it didn't just answer your questions, but actually reasoned through them? Well, today we're diving into a really cool concept called Agentic RAG. And honestly, it might just be the next giant leap for artificial intelligence. So let's be real for a sec. Have you ever asked an AI a really tough multi-step question and the answer you got back was, well, kind of useless, maybe even nonsensical? Yeah, it's frustrating, and you're definitely not alone. The thing is, current AI often hits a wall when a question requires it to do some deep reasoning or pull together info from a bunch of different sources. And that is the exact problem we're going to tackle. Now, before we can get to that next leap, we first have to understand the starting point, and that's a technology called Retrieval-Augmented Generation, or RAG for short. The easiest way to think about it is like giving an AI a library card. Suddenly, it can go out, read all the latest books and articles, and then use that fresh knowledge to give you a much, much better answer. Okay, so here's our game plan for today. First, we'll look at the limits of today's AI. Then, we'll get to the main event, the agentic upgrade that just blows past those limits. After that, we'll see how it puts together a whole team of AI experts, check it out in action, and then finally, we'll take a look at the challenges and what's coming next. All right, let's kick things off with that first point on our map, moving beyond just simple answers. We really need to get why even the smartest AI we have right now can still hit a dead end. You see, standard RAG is basically a one-way street. It goes out, grabs some information, and then spits out an answer. And for simple questions, that works just fine. But what happens when you ask it to do something tricky, like find one specific number in a table that's buried, 50 pages deep inside a PDF? Well, that's where it often just falls apart. And this is where the magic really starts to happen. This brings us to the agentic upgrade. And this isn't just a small tweak, you guys. It's a fundamental shift from simply answering to actually reasoning. So here's the difference in a nutshell. Over on the left, you've got traditional RAG. It's just a straight line. Fetch, then answer. But look at the right. That's agentic RAG. It's not a line, it's a loop. It's iterative. It actually plans, it checks its own work, and it refines the answer over and over until it gets it right. Basically, it thinks. So how does this whole thinking thing actually work? Well, it all starts by picking the right tools, or agents, for the job. Then it creates these little mini questions for each one, sends them off to do their research, and pulls all that data back together. It'll generate a first draft of an answer. But here's the game changer. It then stops and asks itself, is this actually good enough? Does this really solve the user's problem? And if the answer is no, it refines its plan and dives right back into that loop. So this whole loop is run by a team. And to really get how this works, we need to peek behind the curtain at its internal structure. Because you're not just dealing with one single AI here, you're dealing with a whole coordinated team of specialists. The best way to think about it is like a project team at work. You've got a really smart, experienced project manager who sees the big picture. And then working for them, you have a whole team of experts, and each one has their own very specific skill. And here's exactly how that team is set up. Right at the top, you've got the project manager. This is the controller agent. It's the one that takes the big, messy problem from you, the user, breaks it down into smaller, doable tasks, and then hands them out to its team of experts, the specialist sub-agents. You can see it right here. That central controller agent is basically the brain of the whole operation. It takes in your question and then intelligently delegates tasks to its team of specialists. You've got the domain expert, the memory expert, the tools expert. It's kind of like the conductor of an orchestra, bringing all these individual parts together to create one single, coherent, and super accurate response. Okay, that's the theory. But what can this thing actually do out there in the real world? Let's get to the exciting part and check out some of its superpowers. All right, let's take a field with super high stakes, like healthcare. The impact here could be massive. Just imagine an AI that can instantly analyze a patient's entire medical history, cross-reference it with the very latest global research in real time, and then give a doctor life-saving, evidence-based options. It could even help design personalized treatment plans for diseases as complex as cancer. It's incredible. Or what about finance? It's all about making sense of just pure information chaos. An agentic RAG system can sift through mountains of global news, complex economic reports, and real-time trading data to do some seriously deep market analysis. Or it could perform a risk assessment so comprehensive that it might spot dangers a human team would totally miss. And the applications just keep spreading out from there. Think about truly personalized virtual tutors that can adapt from one moment to the next to a student's unique way of learning, or systems that can untangle and optimize these unbelievably complex global supply chains. Even something that sounds simple, like helping a store figure out the absolute perfect place to put a product on a shelf, this can revolutionize that too. Now, as exciting as all this is, this technology isn't a silver bullet. Not yet. It's still really new, and there are some pretty big hurdles to get over. So let's take a clear-eyed look at the challenges and what the road ahead looks like. Okay, there are some major hurdles. First and foremost, hallucinations. You have to make sure the AI doesn't just confidently make stuff up. With a multi-step reasoning process, there are just more chances for things to go wrong. Then there's scalability. All this thinking and teamwork takes a massive amount of computational power, which is expensive and really complex to manage. And finally, you've got ethical bias. As these systems connect to more personal and company data, making sure that information is used fairly and without discrimination is absolutely critical. But here's the good news. The best researchers in the world are tackling these problems head-on right now. And the goal isn't just to fix the problems, but to push toward an AI that is way more integrated, way more capable, and truly collaborative with us. So what's just over the horizon? I mean, what if you had an AI that actually learns from your feedback, getting smarter and more helpful every single time you use it? Or an AI that doesn't just read text, but can analyze images, video, and audio as part of its reasoning process? And what if these systems could offer a level of personalization so deep that they truly understand your unique situation and what you really want? That's what's coming. Which brings us to our final big question. With its power to reason, to plan, and to work as a team, Agentic RAG is pushing us way beyond simple question and answer bots. So, are we witnessing the dawn of an AI that doesn't just answer us, but one that truly collaborates with us? The answer to that could change absolutely everything. Thanks for joining me.